do we definancialize and deploy capital to people starving for capital? Apple Computer is not starving for capital. They can get any billions they want. What about the small business person on a corner in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
Well, that's where we have to refocus our banking system. You know, banks were always at the center of providing capital to small, medium-sized businesses. You know, if you're a small business, you don't go raise money on the capital market. You go to your bank.
Yep.
And the problem is that the banks over the last 30 years have focused their attention on things like issuing derivatives, CDSs, trading commodities. They found a lot more lucrative ways of making money, some of it actually market manipulation. So if we stop some of their bad activities, market manipulation, predatory lending, and encourage them to do what their mandate is, which is lending to small businesses, I think it would actually create much more opportunity.
I mean, Lisa, this is the heart of the matter. I'm just old enough, unlike the ancient Stiglitz, who really, really remembers this out of Gary, Indiana. But Lisa, there actually was a time where you did business with your local bank, or maybe the regional bank.
Yeah.
And it's evaporated. And
actually, the regional banks, anecdotally, have been pulling back on credit. Professor Stiglitz, I'm not going to refer to your tenure or, you know, in terms of teaching or anything that Tom was talking about in terms of ancient history. I will say, though, going forward, how does the economic profession, how do you, as a Nobel Laureate, get your voice heard to the degree that it needs to be heard by policymakers who say economists have gotten it wrong numerous times? Why should we follow a theory when free market economics has led to the power of the United States over the long term?
What actually hasn't been free market economics has led to the success. If you look at all the innovations that have been the basis of U.S. success, all those innovations have been supported by the government. You know, the internet, the advances in medicine that we're all looking for. Who did the research that led to DNA? Who did the research that led to all the major advances in biology? It's the government. So one of the things I call for in my book, People, Power, and Profits, is recognizing the success of the United States has in the past been based on a balance between the market, the government, and civil society. We lost that balance beginning with Reagan, that said the government was the problem. We now, in this pandemic, have seen that an ill-prepared government is not there when we need it. And I think the strongest argument for what I called for in my book, People, Power, and Profits, for a new social contract with a new balance, has been precisely the failures that we've just seen in this pandemic.